Hi guys, it is almost National Nurses Week. I am so blessed to be able to celebrate this week. Last year I got to celebrate it in 2018 for my first year ever. I just wanted to take the time out and kind of share my story on becoming a nurse and where I'm at right now. I've found this profession to be so fulfilling in only almost 2 years. I originally started my journey October 2nd, 2017. I made a year this past October. I was originally a float nurse at a hospital, and I got that position through someone I knew, and the opportunities that they had there for me were somewhat limited, but I would eventually have the opportunity to maybe transfer to another unit. Telemetry was something I was not sure about. They had 2 positions open. One was for a floor that you would just be staffed on that unit, and that would be your unit. The other one was a float pool. Many people ask me why or how did I get this float pool position, because usually float pools want experienced nurses. Now, coming straight out of school, I don't know any of this stuff. Some hospitals are different. Some take experienced only, and some take brand new grads. Based on the recommendation I got, maybe that's why they offered it to me. I'm not sure. I weighed pros and cons of these positions, and I was like, what if I don't like this unit and I have to go there every day and I'm miserable? I decided to take the float pool position because I'd have the opportunity to go to Mother Baby and to go to Pediatrics. So I was like, you know what? That helps me get my foot in the door while I kind of wait my time out. And the benefits of the job weren't too bad. Like the PTO bank was amazing and all these things. So I used a lot of it to my advantage up until the point that I left, which was 8 months later. I recommend all you new nurses, do not let anyone tell you that you have to go through med surg first for that first year. If you want to and you want to reinforce those skills you learn and all that good stuff, definitely go ahead. I've learned a lot in those 8 months of becoming a nurse and starting my first job, and it was good experience, and I appreciate everyone who gave me the opportunity to get to that point, but I was not happy at the end of the day. I weighed my pros and cons again after being in the job for a couple months, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pray on it, and whatever happens happens, but I know that I don't want to stay here. I decided around like February that I was really down and I wanted to figure out what my next move was gonna be. So I decided to start looking online, seeing any open pediatrics positions. I went last January and applied for my New York license. I went on a couple interviews, but I didn't want to put myself in another situation that I was unhappy, because that's not what I wanted. So I said the next job I get, this is gonna be what I want, and it's gonna get me further in my career, so that way I can decide if I really love it or not, or if I need to look somewhere else. The reason I chose pediatrics was because I love kids. I am a whole child myself still. Just having that childish spirit, I guess, kind of gets you through the day. Okay, let's back it up. So I finished school May 2017. I took my NCLEX in August of 2017, went on vacation, came back and got in contact with some people that I met throughout my time at school. One told me that she would get me in contact with an HR representative, and that's how I really got my first job. It's really amazing the people that you end up meeting and what they can do for you, honestly. Don't ever be afraid to ask for help. People who want to see you succeed will help you, and there's people who don't want to see you succeed, and if they tell you no or turn you down or don't respond to you, move on. Don't even bother with them anymore. So as I was saying, it took me September to kind of go on interviews and everything, and then October 2nd, I started my first position. Back to this story, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do this. If I don't like one unit, at least I know the next shift I might not have to go there. My manager was amazing. Schedule was amazing. I had no other issue except I just didn't like the job itself. The patient ratios were terrible. I was drowning almost every shift. Getting myself together, being new, obviously going to new units, you need to know where everything is, who you work with, who you can go to for help, these kind of things, knowing all the different nurse managers. It's a lot to take in, especially as someone who's new to being a nurse and not just new to the unit. I learned a lot from my patients. These people were so wise. All that they've been through, their families, all these things, so many stories, and I really appreciate them allowing me to learn while taking care of them as well. I was always honest with my patients. If I didn't know something, I went and asked and I got back to them. Just being there to support them, being kind of like a confidant for them when they feel like they can't really talk to their family about certain things. And just showing them that you really care, because this is something I knew I wanted to do. And being a nurse, I knew was for me, but overall, the job itself was too stressful. And especially being young, it's kind of like, oh, suck it up, like you'll get there, you'll learn, whatever it is. But I was not happy with it at all. So fast forward, I was there from October 2nd, 2017 up until May 2018. And then I started May 15th at my new job. And I found that job just searching online, looking for open positions for pediatrics. This, honestly, it fell into my lap, and it was all God, because I prayed on it and I told God, I was like, you know what? I know that I am supposed to be in pediatrics. It's not that this is too much work for me. I just want to be lazy. I want less work. Pediatrics is a whole nother ball game. You're dealing with parents. You're dealing with sick kids. They spiral down the drain so fast compared to adults. It's ridiculous. So it's a whole different kind of stress. And you have a lot of extra people watching you. Families that don't know how to cope well. Families who don't trust you. You know, and you got to build that bond with them. That's something I've learned. And I always go into work with a clear mindset, clear head, knowing that I'm going to be here for you. I need to introduce myself. I need to make it clear on what my intentions are with you and what our plan is for the day. You know, dealing with parents and different dynamics, different cultures, you got to be very sensitive and flexible. I was so happy to hear when I first originally got the interview. Fast forward, it is almost May 2019. Almost a full year since I've been in pediatrics, and I love it to have been given the opportunity. I originally applied for a day position online, and then when I went for the interview, it was like, oh no, we only have nights available now. And it was like, oh, that's a little iffy, but I would have had to adjust and just take it on. Midway through my orientation, someone on day shift decided to leave, and she knew that my intentions were to be on day shift. Obviously, seniority comes first. Everyone on night shift had to be asked if they wanted it. They were like, no thanks. So I was like, yes. So everything really worked out in my favor. And again, that was all God, because I prayed on that as well. I would learn a lot more. There's a lot more people there, a lot of stuff going on. You learn how to do a lot more things through day shift. At night, being a new nurse, it's kind of like you don't have that support. But through days, there's just so many extra people there that don't need to be there, honestly. But I prefer day shift. My first job also was day shift, so I guess I was lucky in that sense as well. So I feel like everything has happened for a reason. Getting that first position, really learning all the skills from school and applying them to patient care. And that was the best opportunity for me. So that way, when I was looking, I could put on my resume that I did have experience on a pediatric floor. So I knew that was the best bet for me compared to a regular telemetry floor that has nothing to do with pediatrics. And then I'm there for a year for what? And it's like, oh, I just have this experience, but it's not relevant to pediatrics. This year has gone by so fast. I can't believe it's been a year already. When I look at the relationships I've built at work, all the patients that I've had, some that are like more frequent, that I see more often, patients that remember my name when they come back in, just from knowing me for 2 days maybe, or even one, but you leave that mark on them, and they request you now, like when they come in. It's like, is she working? Are we gonna see her today? Will she be in tomorrow? That's really touching to me, because you put in all this effort, all this work, all your energy into taking care of them. And it's nice to be appreciated, and those parents and the kids who appreciate you so much, it means the world to me. That's what makes it worth it. Obviously, you might have bad days where you can't just win with anybody. Like, you're on someone's bad side for no reason. It's just how they are. You've done everything you can, and you just can't win. And you just gotta let those people go. You pay no mind to them, and you do what you have to do, though. I have so many drawings from kids, necklaces, bracelets that I still keep, and I actually have to buy a little box to put all these memories that I have. And it's crazy that I'm like, okay, it's only been a year and I have like all this stuff, and people are like, why do people always draw you stuff? Why do you always get stuff? I'm like, because I am one of them. I am a child. I knew when I stepped foot in my first job and had my first full shift, it might have not been the right place, the right time, but being a nurse was something I knew I made a right decision in. And it's so fulfilling to be able to speak on it, live it, and take care of my patients. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate each and every one of them. People that I've met through families and all this stuff, you never know who you're gonna meet. And that's the crazy part of it too. So I want to say happy Nurses Week to all my nurses. Stay young, stay vibrant, stay loving, stay caring, stay passionate, stay you. There's nothing worse than a nurse with a nasty attitude, bad intentions, don't really care, they just want their check and they're out. I would want to take care of my patients the way I would want my family members taken care of. What I say is, when I get into work and I get on that elevator, when that door opens up to my floor, I leave everything that's going on outside on the elevator. If I gotta come back on that elevator at the end of the shift and pick all that other stuff up and put it back on my back, I will, but I'm not taking it into work with me. Kindness doesn't cost anything. Sprinkle that shit everywhere. So I'll leave you guys with that. All my fellow nurses, happy National Nurses Week. And to all my seniors this year, I cannot wait for you to celebrate your first National Nurses Week next year. So thank you so much. Don't forget to get your goodies all throughout Nurses Week. Cinnabon, I'm coming to you in every mall, store, outlet, wherever. I'm coming for my free cinnamon bun. So all my good nurses out there, stay true to yourself, stay true to your patients, stay true to your craft, and keep moving up. Don't stay stagnant. Thank you guys so much for watching. All my nurses, happy National Nurses Week.